This episode of Broken Bones and Bullshit is sponsored by Ozcan Rule. So my next guest is Jared Borghero, 8-time PBR Bullfighter of the Year, 5-time APRA Bullfighter of the Year. Welcome on, mate.
Hey, thanks for having me, mate.
So let's take us back to the start. How did you start riding bulls, or?
Yeah, I started riding bulls. I think I was 15 or 16, around there, and yeah, I only had goals of being a bull rider at the time, and then as I got older, and I sort of ventured into bullfighting, and yeah, that's where I ended up.
That generally seems like a like natural progression, like starting off riding and then getting into bullfighting.
Yeah, I think that's what. Not too many people just start out bullfighting. I don't think. I think there's a few more now that are doing it, but
especially in the States, because they've got the events like bullfighter only and that. Like,
yeah,
they can get into it just to be a bullfighter.
Yeah, they sort of got two options over there, as in they can bullfight competitively or go down the protection road. So,
Have you done any freestyle stuff, or?
no, not really. And to be honest, like it is good fun stepping around them, but even if we had it here in Australia, it's probably not something
You're
I'd
interested
strive to do.
Yeah.
Like I love the protection side of it, but I just don't know if I could enter up every weekend to go and I don't know. Everyone's different. There might be fellas that would just rather do that, and there is over there. But yeah,
That's the trouble when I was riding over there. The fellas that just do the freestyle, and then they'll pick up a show like Billy Bob's.
yeah,
But it's total different sport, like between freestyle and then cowboy protection.
yeah, 100%.
Like,
Yeah,
so they all looked flashy, but every bull rider got ran over because they would like drag the bull towards them,
yeah,
step around, and then the bull would keep running straight and run straight over the rider.
yeah.
So-
I've heard that a fair bit.
Yeah, it's sort of like you're like, oh, what have you been doing? They're like, oh yeah, I just do the BFOs. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah,
We're gonna get killed. Because it is like a totally different sport, eh?
yeah. It is. It is. Like I suppose it's got a few similar things, as into getting around a bull,
Yeah.
but then working a bull freestyle to working a bull protection is. There's a fair bit of difference as well, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, because in freestyle you can let a bull blow past you.
Yeah.
But in cowboy protection, you sort of want to keep him locked onto you, eh?
Yeah, yeah. So, and I guess freestyling, you're out there by yourself. Protection, you got a team with you, so you got to take that into consideration. As in, you know, you got to work with two other fellas. So, yeah, you got help. Whereas freestyling, you're sort of out there on your own, and yeah, it's just a different. It's the same but different, if it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I went and watched. It wasn't a BFO; it was another one where they play like in teams and they do games.
Yeah.
And they had like a last man standing, and
Oh,
fuck, everyone got smoked. So they had like a circle they had to stand in, and they had just this big like Spanish fighting cow,
Yeah.
and it just smoked them, mate.
Oh.
I'd never been to nothing like that, and it was that exciting.
Yeah.
I loved it. It
Yeah.
was fucking good to watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching it. I don't know.
You don't want to be the guy in there.
Yeah.
So when was the what year did you stop riding bulls and focus just on bullfighting?
2017 was my last full competitive bull riding year,
Yeah.
and I sort of went hard that year in the pros. So I got on a couple of bulls at PBRs, but like I don't think I've done more than maybe 7 or 8. It's just because I bullfought there, and then the APRA I was allowed to bullfight and ride, so I sort of I stayed there for a while, and 17 was my last full year, and I won the Pro Tour title that year, and
Oh, great.
so I was pretty happy. It's not that I really wanted to; it's just that at that stage of my life, and with work, and then I had the kids, and then I just didn't really have time to put in what I needed to compete successfully. Like, I guess I could have, but if you don't set sort of self standards for yourself, or if you turn up and you haven't practiced right, or turning up at 80% every week, it's not worth doing.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the caliber of guys, like there's guys that want it.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
if you're half in, then you just can't keep up with them other guys.
And and then I had bullfighting still there, and you still got to do training that for that, but it's a lot easier. You don't have to really find bulls to get on or stuff like that. So.
And you do a fair bit in the practice pen still?
If if there's a few boys bucking bulls and that, but sort of it's more of just fitness training really.
Yeah.
So.
And you've been doing a bit of boxing?
Oh no, that was just a bit of cardio training there. I'm definitely not going to make a
career of it.
I'm more of a bullfighter. I'm not a fighter. It's Brant's got a good thing down here in town, and I just sort of went there a few times. And now the days are getting sunnier early. It's a bit hard because I work. So we're starting work as they're training. So
So what year did you win your first title, bullfighting title? Was that 17 or that was?
2011 I think it was.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Can't remember now.
And that was when you're doing both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Like each year at the finals I'd be able to pick whether, if I got voted in obviously, but naturally when you win the title, because it's on a voting system from the bull riders, and then I'd sort of have to pick whether I was going to ride or fight, because you weren't allowed to do both at the pro finals. So, but no, it was pretty. 2011, I'm pretty sure it was now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was back then when you won that first pro tour, like pro bullfighting title, did you always want to get into the PBR? That was like your end goal?
Definitely. Like that was sort of the PBR's the biggest thing we have here in Australia. So it always was a sort of goal to end up there, but at the same time I was pretty content because I was still bull riding and allowed to do both.
Yeah.
And so it was just easy.
Yeah. And what year did you start doing PBRs?
2015 I think it was. Jackie, that's when Jackie and Troy were still running it. She rang me up, and I went there. Actually, end of 2014, I done maybe 2 events that year.
Yeah, and just got your foot in.
Yeah, and 15 was my first full year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder for you guys too, because it's not like a bull rider. You can't just enter up. You have to wait for your phone to ring before you get the gig.
Yeah, that's right. But if your phone rings, it's sort of a credit to yourself, because you must be doing your job. So,
they're taking notice of you.
Yeah, if they're ringing you, you're doing something right. I believe anyway.
Yeah. So who sort of took you under the wing with the bullfighting? Or you just learn on the go, or
I remember back when I was probably 17, I think. In the school holidays, I went to my uncle's bullfighting school, Uncle Graham, and I didn't really know I was destined to go down the path I have at the time. It was just something to fill in time in the school holidays, and it's funny. Like I left that weekend, and I was still going to be a bull rider, but I learned a lot, and I remember. I didn't at the time. I didn't think I did, but then a few years later, when I started stepping around them, so much made sense from that weekend. Like I think it was a good thing that I sat there and listened and done a bit, but then
come back to it and then
didn't continue trying to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you just need to when you learn something, maybe have a break, or not a break, but process it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was a bit older and a bit more mature then, so it just all
actually
do something and and it was only that in practice pens you just get in and run around, and then one day I was at an event and started shadowing. Done a lot of shadowing and geez, I would have done 12 months or more. Like it's crazy. And then you get young fellas now, and they like get to an event and then they expect to be paid straight away. Like,
it doesn't work that way.
Nah, and but each to their own. It's just the world we live in now. Isn't
Yeah. I think that's the way kids are now. They're there for a week and then they want to get paid what the boss gets paid.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know anything.
But no, it was good. I learned a lot doing that. You know, sometimes some rodeos at the bigger ones, they'd get you out for the juniors and the novice, and you just stand back in the opens.
Yeah.
That's because I was young then, but yeah, no, it sort of definitely helped make me.
And what's some of the guys you've worked with over the years?
I've been pretty lucky, mate. Like I've worked with a lot of good fellas.
Did you work with Rusty, Mitch Russell?
Me, Rusty, and Clint Kelly, Parko. So I was come through that era.
Yeah.
So when I started with PBR, it was me, Mitch, Lincoln Brown. Yeah, Brownie, he's a unit. He's probably the toughest bullfighter I've seen, I reckon. And yeah, oh mate, I feel bad. I'll probably forget names.
Yeah.
You do it with so many people, but even back when I first started, like in the NRA and that, I was getting around with doing a few shows with like Nathan Sherlock and I think Greg McCabe was still running around a few then too, and then yeah, in the pros I was sort of lucky. I would have done so many different people. You know, Dan Roberts was kicking around at the time. But
What's
now
the best unit you reckon you've worked with? Like, just done the most shows with, or something that always just clicked with them guys you're working with?
Oh mate, I've had a lot of great partners. Like
Yeah.
I can't really
Narrow it down to one or two.
And then it's no disrespect to anyone else, but like when I was out there with Clint Kelly, like he's one of my best mates too, and
He's on next.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was. I guess because we had such a outside of the rodeo
Yeah, you
relationship,
really knew each
we
other.
just sort of yeah. It's we worked together in that too, so we just. Yeah, I
You'd
think
be
having that
sick of each
off-field
other,
connection,
wouldn't
which you do with everyone, but I guess being in the same town, and
Yeah.
whereas the other boys, it's like
You only
you talk
see
on the
him at
phone or
event.
an event, like. But yeah, Fuzzy's in my eyes, he's probably the best I've seen in our era. So
Yeah, awesome.
He's very humble. He's very humble.
So, going back, you won the Pro Tour in the bull riding.
Yeah.
So, was that, did you win the Australian title or?
Nah.
No.
Nah, that's a sore point.
Tell us about that.
It was all self-inflicted.
Yeah.
I had a pretty good lead going into the finals, and I was just a pussy. I only had to ride one bull there, really, to seal the deal, and I fell off all four.
Oh, wow.
So it just...
Still haunts you now.
Oh, no, it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
It did for a bit, but it is what it is. I was still pretty happy with the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
It's
it's still a massive achievement.
It is, mate. I believe anyway. Like and it was 18 months that season. That's when they swapped the year around. So we had 2 Concaros, 2 Mount Isas, everything in it. So it was up for grabs for anyone.
Yeah. And what was the best ride you ever made, or one that stands out to you that as your sort of favourite? Doesn't have to be the highest points, just one that means the most to you.
Oh. I don't know if it really... Just a bull at Warwick, actually. I'm trying to think of his name. It's a little red bull.
Yeah. Do you know who owned it?
Frankie Biddle, I think. And I got on it the first night, and he was bucky. He was real good, and we done some rounds. I think I was like 89 points, and I won the round at Warwick. But that was just
one that stands out.
That was just I thought was me best.
Yeah,
because he was getting it on. Like he wasn't kicking over his head, but he was good. And
then
Brad Pearce had him in the next round, and Pearce rode him too.
Cool.
But he never really bucked the same after that weekend. Like he hadn't been ridden for a while, and then he got
his heart broken 2 nights in a row.
Yeah. So and then And then, I got on Buck Owens in the short go, but I come down just short.
Yeah.
So.
And then it's just, like, I speak to a lot of guys and I ask them that, like, which one's the best, but it's, even if it's not the highest points, when everything just feels right and it's so easy that it's just
well,
like,
that one was sort of, he had me hustling, like...
Oh, yeah. Major work.
Yeah, it probably wasn't my neatest thing, but he was just... And a few people thought I was kicking him, but I don't really think I was. I think I was just moving
Just moving, trying to catch up.
Yeah. So, we done some rounds. So, he was good.
And so you did... 2017 was when you did the Pro Tour. Did you keep riding for much longer after that?
Not really, no. I've done a couple shows and I've cracked out a few midlife crises since then. And I remember it would have been, maybe 2020. So it was a couple of years later, and I just got the itch and ended up here at the Western and come out on this Brindle board, and he was just nice. Like, he was a pup.
Yeah.
But he felt ranked to me. I hadn't been on for ages. And I won it, and I was like, I'm back. So the Triangle Series was coming up. And I booked me tickets, went down there and got dick slapped 3 times and worked out, I'm not going to be a bull rider anymore.
I'll stick to stepping around.
Yeah. And then...
Because I think a Pro Tour is hard for you guys to win because there's not a lot up here. Like you have Mount Isa and all them, but most of the shows are down south. And
we still have a few up here. It's just like, I guess down there they got a real good run.
Yeah. We've got like Easter's a big run, and then we've also got Christmas.
Yeah.
But our Christmas
and then
run's
even like
not
the
as
Triangle
good.
Series just before Easter.
Yeah.
That's three good radios. So.
But. And you had much success during the Triangle Series?
Not that weekend. Nah, it was it was good fun. It's crazy actually. It's the first time after all the years I've done pros, and it was the first time I've done the Triangle Series.
Wow.
So there was beautiful country down there. It was a good weekend.
Was it cold or?
It was a couple of nights were cold. But
the worst is the Easter run, because it's all like a lot of them are over the mountain, like where it snows.
Yeah.
And fuck, it's cold, eh?
See, our Easter was just Roma, Emerald Roma. So I'm glad I don't do that road anymore.
So what's bullfighting for as long as you have? What's the biggest wreck you've seen in person? That was just a bind, and just felt like it was never going to end.
Oh shit! It's sorry, mate. Let's think me all out.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, if anyone's watching,
yeah,
you got a bit of steel in your eye.
Wear safety glasses. Bloody. Oh, it's hard. It's even like at a show, bull riders come up and say, "Oh, do you remember this bull last night?" And we're out in the arena, but I still don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember a lot of stuff. As in, when I was a bull rider, I used to watch bulls and remember what they'd done because you were getting on them.
Yeah,
but when I'm fighting, I just can't remember. I've seen a few big wrecks, but I'm just trying to think. What would be the worst? Well, this isn't the worst. I remember at Cairns, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, and it was in the junior academy, and I think it was Keeler brought one of his practice bulls that is usually quiet, and
flicked the switch.
Yeah, mate, it got all 3 of us, eh?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I couldn't even tell you exactly how it happened. I just know that this junior bull made us look stupid. And we all got run over, the kid got run over, and it's just one of them things, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you find that hard sometimes when, like, you predict that a bull is pretty quiet and that, and then you sort of take him cheap, and then sometimes it's just like, sort of catches you off guard, and you're like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, we've been a few people I'd say every bullfighter once in their life has thought, oh, this fella, you know, like he's pretty
Yeah.
quiet, and then he makes you look stupid. Like, yeah. But that's credit to him, you know. That I don't think the animals get as much credit as they deserve. Like, it's pretty, you know, they love it just as much as us, and we're very lucky as bullfighters or protection athletes, whatever you call us, and we're pretty privileged to be in the front row and get to work with them, and you learn they all a lot of them have their own sort of character, and like you said, one fella, he can be quiet this week, and then he might just be feeling good today and be like, stuff, no, I'm gonna get you. But
and it's a credit to like everyone involved, contractors and that. Like everything's in great nick. And,
yeah, even like from when I was riding, which wasn't, it feels forever ago for me, but in reality, it's only a few years ago, or well, 7 now, I guess. But
a little while.
the difference in the lifestyle now is crazy.
It's huge,
Like, and anyone, you still hear the old fella say, "Oh, they don't buck like they used to." Like, you're kidding yourself, mate. Like,
and it's a like credit to the contractors too, because like we're a lot more educated now, and some of the feeding programs and that these bulls are on, it's as good as racehorses.
And that's how I explain to people. People are like, you know, if they ask a question, I'll be like, we look at the money they spend on racehorses, and they get their feet and their teeth, and that's the bull industry now. Like, these bulls are their contractors' lives. Like, they're like their kids. Like and it's just sad when you hear people that got no idea trying to comment on it, and like the bulls probably get looked after better than half these weirdos rallying than what they treat their own kids.
Oh, for
you
sure.
know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
And anyone that's in the industry would know it, but if you added up the hours to say like a bull that's a 4-year-old and you're seeing him at the PBR, if you added the hours that you got to put into that bull to get him ready, have him responsible, and make sure he's doing all the right things to get him there, like there would be hundreds of hours in that bull of working with him, and people, you can't teach a bull to buck, but we just get him responsible, make sure he knows where the outgate is, leaves, and just so the animal's safe.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to get anyone hurt, and especially the animal. People think that we put the riders above the animal.
Nah.
It's the same.
Look what we're putting the riders on. I don't even care about that. But, and I think that not just, you know, PBR or bulls, I think that reflects the whole sport of rodeo.
Oh, definitely.
You know, I'm pretty lucky. You know, we only rode bulls and run around them, and we had the biggest prize money, and we carted gear bag. And you talk about time, and that like you look at the time events and the amount of hours they got to put into their horses, and even the contractors with bucking horses now, like it's just the same. And hours in the afternoon, like I see just in like my daughter, she's barrel races and obviously played golf, but then she's, you know, they got to ride their horses every day, and then you know, and then her mum, she carts around, and you know, we all go to the same events and that. Sometimes when I'm not at a PBR or something.
PBR,
And it's just the animals are so well looked after, and it's the people, and that's the thing. It's what people don't see. They don't have any idea about what actually goes into it. And if they actually spent a week or 2 weeks of their life and went out and learnt and seen the time, they'd have a whole different outlook on it.
Like, definitely. And I think rodeo is such a good sport for kids because you got to mature.
Yeah.
Like, because you got to be like disciplined, especially if you're doing them time events. Like, that horse has got to be ridden every day.
Yeah.
Doing all the work, and I think it's great for kids because it grows them up, and they've got to, like, if they're tired after school, you still got to get down, feed your horse, rug.
Don't feed the horse, you don't go to the rodeo.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of good and bad. Everyone's got their opinions. I think we could do a lot better in some areas, as in you're not allowed to be hard on kids anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and now there's just so many. I went to Weeper Rodeo the other day, and I hadn't seen a potty ride or a junior steer, like an old school one where there's just the Brahmins out of the paddock, these calves,
fresh as.
yeah. And mate, these kids, they had a go, and now they got the mini balls and that, which is all well and good, but back in the day, man, it sorted you out pretty quick who wanted to be a bull rider and who didn't.
Yeah.
You hang down the side of one of them belly rolling, cow kicking calves, but kids don't get that these days.
No.
And that sort of made cowboys tough back then, was getting on that stuff and doing that rodeo stuff. And then I'm not saying they're not tough now, but they just got a lot easier road there now, I think. But
And
at the same time, they have to stay pretty dedicated because the stock is getting a lot better, a lot quicker.
Yeah, like it's do you like the mini bulls or?
Oh, yes and no, eh?
Yeah.
Like, it's great, but I think we shouldn't forget our roots on what made our past champions and how they got there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's hard to say because minis haven't been around that long in Australia, but it'd be interesting to see if we end up with more better cowboys coming up to what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because you had to cut your teeth on the fresh Brahmins that.
Like I know I shouldn't be really comparing eras, but it did make cowboys tough doing that stuff back then, and I think I think we need to bring a bit of toughness back into these.
Getting a bit
in the rodeos and that, like it's all good to have the minis, but throw a steroid in there and that. Like these things the other day is like these kids, and they had a go too. Them bush kids, like it'd be interesting to see. Even just the shoot procedure, like these things were pretty good in the shoot. A couple mad ones and that, whereas a lot of young things these days they just stand there in the shoot like.
Well, they're getting bucked every weekend, just like an open ball.
Yeah, so that's right. So, no, it is good. There's a lot of positive in it. It's just, and I'm only one person, but that's my opinion. So
it's sort of, I've spoken to a lot of guys, and it's sort of, everyone's sort of like your opinion. Some are all for it, and then others are like, not sure. Like Mitch Russell's like, I think steers were great.
Yeah.
And then he really liked that. And then there's other people that think it's really good for kids because the mechanics are more similar to what they're going to be getting on when they're older.
Yeah, but they're kids, they're still growing. Like, you gotta. I have seen some minis they buck, and I just think, like, I wouldn't want my kid getting on it. Like, it's just.
Well, I was speaking to Gav Tickle yesterday.
Yeah.
And he reckons that now with the mini bulls, and because it is getting so big, there nearly needs to be two divisions.
Yeah.
Like a novice and an open.
Yeah.
Or how A or B or however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Because there's kids that, like, that's how you get to start nowadays.
Yeah.
And these mini bulls are too good, some of them.
Yeah.
So you need to nearly split them into divisions if we're going to totally wipe out steers and only do mini bulls. Maybe two divisions is our option stepping forward.
Yeah, I reckon if you brought back 12 months of just steers and paddock steers, I think you'd halve your numbers of bull riders. But you'd get good ones come through, I reckon. Because, I mean, we used to get from something like you go on the Northern Run and you get on them Bobby Blackett things and big yellow herdies and the novice or juniors and them things buck and rip you down and belly roll. But it made cowboys, it made you tough and you sort of had to sort the men from the boys anyway. But they teach you just as much as something, probably teach you more actually, than something just kicking out spinning, you know.
Yeah, it is. It'll be interesting to see. I guess we'll know in 10 years' time. Whether like it is the way to go or. But it.
I just don't think we should. And it's hard now. There's a lot of rules coming in as far as livestock goes, and so
because we have
their hands are probably tied in a lot of in behind the stuff that I don't probably know about. As in, you probably just can't run. I don't think you can, or you can, but there's probably rules around it. Just run something out of the paddock, and then you know the flanks, what the rules are.
Yeah, because in Victoria, unless they're contractor steers, we can't flank them.
Yeah.
And then and we have all the rules on certain weights.
Yeah, right.
Like, so that's why I think mini bulls aren't a thing in Victoria at the
Yeah.
moment, which also makes it hard because any Victorian kids, they're only getting on steers.
Yeah.
And then if they come
Well, there you
up,
go. I was at the finals the other day, and the couple of Victorians that were up here, they were handy.
yeah, Noah Dingle,
Yeah, that
he's
kid,
a rank
that
little
is
kid,
probably
eh?
the best little kid I've seen come through in a long time. Yeah, him and Maddie's from up here, but yeah, the future is looking good. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, but there's probably like you said in that division thing, there's a couple, but it's always been that way. A couple that stand out above the rest, but
Yeah, and there's Noah Dingle.
there's another kid too from down there.
What's he? Jack Woodall. Like Jack Woodall's took him under his wing.
Yeah,
And put a lot of work into him, and then,
Yeah.
and it was funny. Like he had all the ability, but Jack would not let him get on the novice bulls.
yeah,
He's like, no. He's like, you're still young. Look, don't rush it.
Yeah.
Like, keep getting on them junior bulls. Keep getting on the steers.
yeah,
He goes, and then I was talking to Jack about it. He goes, I know he could ride them,
yeah,
but he's a 14-year-old kid that's not developed. I don't want to get him on one of them novice bulls that's bigger. If he does jump on him,
yeah,
it's going to really hurt him.
100%.
And he goes, who cares about, like, just, he goes, do your steps. So win your steer title, win your junior title.
Yeah,
And, like, don't be 16 getting on open bulls. He goes, because you got the rest of your career. Why try to skip steps?
yeah.
Get hurt and then ruin, like, a talent?
And it's hard at that age. Not exactly like what Jack said there, but he's so right. Like people said, my old boy told me a couple of things, but when you're young and you're
Just
doing good,
keen, yeah.
But yeah, and I remember being young and getting told things, and it's like, nah, bullshit. I won't do that. And now I'm at that age, and I'm telling kids, it's like, trust me. I was your age once, and I was like, oh, I'm not listening to him. He wouldn't know, and then you're there, and it's like, I wish I listened. Like,
Yeah.
And Jack would know better than anyone. Like, you couldn't really get a better
Yeah,
teacher than
rank
Jack.
cowboy.
Yeah.
And the way he explains it is, he's so good at
Yeah.
explaining it.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, eh? Some people are good. Someone
Good
might not
teachers.
be the best cowboy, but he's a really good teacher. And you can have the best in the world, but can't teach.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because a lot of the best boxing coaches were never fighters.
yeah, yeah,
But they just understood it
Yeah.
and knew how to teach people.
yeah,
And then, like Jeff Fennick, phenomenal fighter,
yeah,
horrible teacher.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're a world champion in your sport doesn't mean you know how to teach it.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Have you run any bullfighting schools?
Well, I've done a couple little ones, but it's something I'm definitely looking into. I actually went back and done a school. I think it was started this year. Uncle Graham was running one, and I hit him up and said I'm coming as a student. Just I just been. I still made the finals and that, but the last probably 18, or not this year, but last year and probably the year before, I was getting by and doing my job. But I just had a fair bit on in the background too, in personal life and that, and I just wasn't really happy with where I was, and I just sort of reached out and went there, just sort of, and I was actually injured at the time too, so I told him I couldn't run around, and I just wanted to go and listen and reset and watch, which was really good, and it was pretty, when these I think there might have been 10 or 12 young fellas, older fellas, sort of mixed age there, and they see me there, and then at the start, I made sure they knew that I was here as a student,
Yeah, not a teacher.
And I had my book and pen, and that was one thing I told them all, that
You're never too good to go back.
Nah, and then it's been the best thing I've done. Like,
Yeah.
I feel this year I've got around them and fought a lot better than I had the last couple of years, but probably
Sort of bringing back the best version of yourself.
Yeah, and I
even
think-
though you're doing your job, but
Yeah,
you're
and I
not
think
as good as you know you are.
Yeah, and I think you got to have the right people around you too. Is a massive thing, and yeah, like I said, I had a fair bit last sort of 4 years going on behind the scenes, and I still was all right, but I wasn't exactly where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And then this year, that's probably the best I've felt. Got great support behind me, the right people around me. The kids are kicking goals, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome. It's that's probably the good advice in that you're never too good to go back.
nah,
Like if you feel like you're not yourself or
yeah,
however,
yeah,
like just go back to where it began. Like go back to
yeah,
where you
100%.
started, and then just refresh. Like all right, cool,
Yeah,
and then get your keen again, and then
yeah. And there was days there where I was like, oh, I'm done, I'm
yeah,
giving up, and I just sort of had to do a bit of a reset really, and yeah, it's been the best thing ever, and Uncle Graham's been really good this year. Like, um, yeah, we talk a fair bit, and just yeah, it's great, and so it's good to be, getting on, and probably not far. I don't have a lot of years left in me. It could be this year yet. I don't know.
you're still looking good, still fit.
Yeah, no, that's all well and good, but the kids are getting older now and got other life commitments,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm not saying it. It's just you just never know.
yeah,
So, but like, yeah, my daughter, she's like I said, she bar races now, and she's about to start high school and that next year, and the young fella's in grade 1, and yeah, we've
and you've had a great career up to date. So
yeah,
it's always best to quit on your terms. You
yeah,
would hate to like bullfight and retire you instead of you saying that.
yeah,
That's it.
100%. And I think I'm sure Rusty was the same, and Clint, like you still wake up probably every day, but and still wish you could do it. But then I think once you step out of it, and you're doing the family time, I don't think you'd never regret it at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because your priorities change.
Yeah,
Like now, like you've had your career. Like it's your kids'
yeah.
time now.
So, anyways, yeah, so I've been having a few talks lately, but we'll see how I go this year, see how I feel at the finals, and
Yeah.
yeah, I was probably my goal was to finish next year, but we'll just wait and see.
You never know what the future brings.
Never know what the future brings, mate.
So, how's your mindset going into bullfighting? Do you have certain stuff you run through, or just because you've done it for so long, you get confidence in your ability?
Yeah, when I was young, like, it's funny, everyone's so different. As I'm getting older, it seems to be the more relaxed and calm I am.
The better you fight.
Yeah, like, but I remember when I was younger and I'd listen to music and
Yeah, get sort of half
yeah,
amped up.
pumped up, and it's just like, yeah, you look at your different stages you've been through and you just think, oh, I was a wanker. But yeah, and it's different now too with the 3 men too. So but yeah, no, I try and stay pretty relaxed, and I do listen to a bit of music like in the car, or yeah, the kids are sending, or they sort of wear it. On the way there, I try and get it out of my system before I'm at the event.
Yeah.
Like get a bit of music on, or watch a few old rank videos from overseas, or ones that we've got, a few clips that my brother and that have made up, and and that's it. But then when I got a certain time, I don't like eating after a certain time and that, and but yeah, when I'm at the event, I try and stay pretty calm. I'm pretty cheeky and sort of the joker behind the shoots, and well, there's a lot of us now, but
got to keep everyone on their toes.
yeah, yeah. But no, mate, I just find if I can stay calm and relax and be happy and having fun, the rest sort of plays itself out.
And then and that's probably a key too. Like as soon as it becomes a job, then you know that it's time to leave it.
And as silly as it sounds, like everyone thinks you got to be so fast to bullfight, but you actually got to try and be as slow as you can, as in.
Just
as slow as easier.
Timing,
yeah. Like if you're running in flat out, you sort of you can
the bull doesn't see
run
you.
into your other follower, or you've missed your shot, you can't get back. And
Yeah.
it's easy to say that, mate. It's still, after all the years, I still fuck up. Like, no one's perfect. Like, and that's the biggest thing I try and tell young fellas is, you know, mate, if you miss a gap or the bull rider gets hit, then don't beat yourself up, because if you go into the next one or two still thinking about that, it's going to happen again. Like, look at the 40 you saved before that.
Yeah.
And you missed up once. Like, you're human.
Yeah.
Like, don't.
And
And I was real bad for it when I was younger, and I've just sort of learnt as you get older, you don't like to see it.
Yeah.
And
It's,
I had a curse on one fella. He's like my best mate, travel buddy, and fuck, he used to get run over every time, mate, when I was bullfighting. And I was easy. It's like, you want to save everyone, but he's my best mate travelling buddy, and I used to get him run over. Not on purpose, it just.
I find it hard for you fellas too, because people are pretty quick to criticise if you just make one mistake, but we wouldn't be in a bind if we didn't make a mistake.
Yeah.
So it's easy, like, if we didn't do the wrong things and fall underneath a bull right in front of him,
Yeah.
and then if a bullfighter misses it, everybody's quick to curse them out.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, we made a mistake to get there in the first place. Like, I know. So it's you can't blame one or the other. Like,
Yeah,
if
and-
someone's doing it every single ride, then it's a bit different. But
Yeah. I just, it goes in one ear.
you don't even hear it.
I
Yeah.
couldn't give a shit, mate. I don't. You know, they in the arena doing it.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, trust me, it's one thing you got to get used to in radio. There's a lot of politics and a lot of critics, and I've been through it all myself. And people can be judgmental, but it's up to you as yourself as a character whether you let it affect you.
Yeah.
Because if you do, you
You're
know,
gonna
like
be
them couple.
worse.
Yeah, like, you know, I got cut from PBR for a couple of years, and then it was pretty shit at the start. You know, it was just like, I think 3 or 4 years in a row, won their title, and then got cut the year of the World Cup because they were going down a different road. And I had two things: I could get bitter or get better.
Yeah.
No way, I was bitter for a bit.
Yeah.
And, still never know the truth, but it was sort of at a time in my life too where, like, yeah, I had a bit going on, and it's probably made me more than anything now.
Yeah.
Is that I come back from it, and yeah, I did miss 2 years of the finals for the way they went with bullfighters for a bit. You know,
Yeah.
they just had their team, they picked their team, and how they pick, it's up to them. The bull riders didn't really get a say in it. So, yeah, there's a lot of politics, like I said, involved, and if you can't block it out or be better, you're not going to make it. And I always say, if they're talking about you, you're doing good.
Yeah.
So, whether it's good or bad.
At least you're on the radar.
Yeah, yeah. But, nah, it's great. That's it, really.
Yeah. Well, we'll take a little break and then
Yep.
we'll get back into it.
Too easy, mate.
Ozcan Rural, providing Southwest Victoria with everything related custom sheep and cattle yards. Get in touch with the fellas via email ozcanrural@gmail.com. That's AUS, can like the one you drink, rural@gmail.com. Building fences straighter than your local politician. So welcome back.
Yeah.
So what's the thing you're most proud of?
Definitely my kids.
Yeah.
First, obviously the radio and the achievements is good, but so it's like a story I'll tell you. It was only just the other day. So my daughter, she barrel races, and that she's got a new horse. I think, oh shit, I'll say 12 months ago. And she's done a little bit on him, and hasn't been a world beater yet. And her mum was taking her on the Northern Run, doing Kari and Isa, which is, you know, pretty lucky.
Yeah, they're,
Like
they're the big ones
as
too.
a kid, they're going up there, and then they have a junior rodeo on I think it's Thursday now. It's got that big. I think it starts Thursday or something. Anyways, so, and it's just under 18s up there, and she got second on that night, which was just when she rang me, if you heard
how
happy she was, and we were happy, and she ran like a 17.7, and which was a good time, and and I was just so pumped because I know myself, like, everyone wants to win Curry and Isa.
Yeah,
Like,
they're the big ones.
like, and to do it, to get second, like, on her first Northern run, and just, she only just turned 12. I was so happy, and the next day I was at work, and it was the actual Curry rodeo, and then my mate, his missus, sent me this video of Teal, and she had just run a 17:1, and like, I was like, holy fuck, like,
That's
she was
quick.
over half a second quicker than the night before. And I was like, oh, what's she coming? And she's like, oh, she's nearly a second in front of him. And I was like, holy shit. And then yeah, and then I rung Zara, and I was like, how many to go? And I think there was like 20 or something to go. And I'm like, oh, it was the longest half hour, 40 minutes of my life. Because I was just waiting, because I was just like,
Refreshing
just
your
can't.
phone. And...
Yeah, man, I was like, what? She's like, just wait. And then, anyways, I've just never had a feeling in my life. And I guess out of all the titles I won and have over the years, or big rodeos, like even winning the Isa, that when that message come through to say that she won, like,
Yeah.
I had to sit down, and it made me cry, and I was just so proud. Like, I still am. Like, I was just, yeah, she's just yeah, she's very, very lucky to have her as my daughter. I'm getting a bit weird now.
No, that's right.
Yeah, it's just, it's crazy. Yeah, you always hear people say there's no feeling better than seeing your kids do good, and yeah, everything that I've achieved.
And taking that phone call from your daughter, how happy she would have been on the phone.
Mate, it's just the flow on effect. Like, she's so lucky. Like, they've done the Northern Run. She's got like 2 cousins, and they're all like within a few years. So they've just done the whole Northern Run together. And a good lesson for her was, it's really rocks and diamonds, this sport. And so she was one Concari, and then Mount Isa next week. I was like, just manifesting, hoping that she
Yeah,
was
she
going to
could
win.
do it again,
And
yeah.
then I had my bag packed. Like, I went out and played footy at Bluff, and then had my bag packed, because if she made the top 10, I was punching it up, because I wasn't going to miss.
Yeah.
You know, it'll never be a first Mount Isa final again.
Yeah.
And then, just wasn't. She didn't.
Yeah.
The horse ducked the drum, and as I said, oh well, darling, like, that's just part of the sport.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
You go from the highest to highest
Yeah.
to the lowest to lows.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's probably definitely what I'm proudest of. Is my 2 kids, and the road hasn't been easy. I don't think any parent says they have an easy road, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give to a young fella that would look up to you, either being a bullfighter or just wants to be a cowboy?
Yeah, mate. I've probably got lots, but I think it doesn't even come down to just rodeoing, or I think it's life in general. It's and I know I did one thing. I did like, I had my mates in my circle and all that, but I just always looked up to the older fellas, and wanted to be around them. And I don't know whether it's young fellas, that us older fellas don't feel approachable. I don't really know. I just see a lot of young fellas. I think you got to look up to someone who's doing good,
Yeah.
and then look around you. You got to put yourself. You want to be a winner. You got to hang around winners.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you don't have to be friends with. You just watch and learn what they do.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like I said earlier about old fellas giving us advice, and I remember one fella said to me one time is that you don't want to get to 40. You want to put everything into it now and sacrifice, because you don't want to get to 40 with regret and look back and say,
Yeah,
I
should
wish
have
I'd done that
this, or...
better. And I'll have a few times look back and wish I'd done a lot of things different. But at the same time, I appreciate it, because it's where it's got me now. And right now, I think I'm the best version of myself I've ever been.
Yeah.
And my life's going really, really good. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, just work hard. At the end of the day, it's up to you.
Yeah.
You choose your own destiny.
Yeah.
So I've got this saying, work while they sleep. So most of the champions, they get noticed in the arena, but no one sees what they do at home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was my
You gotta
boxing coach was big on it. Like, always train on your birthday, always train on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Because you know you're training the days where your competition's not.
yeah,
So you got that edge.
yeah,
And
that's
that
true.
was the mindset you had to be in. That like,
Yeah.
and it made it good training on them days because you knew that he was drinking or
Yeah.
enjoying himself, and you're putting in the work.
Yeah, that's true,
And
eh?
then next time, if you ever meet each other, you're going to punch holes in him.
Yeah.
Because you're working when he's not.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I think that mindset carries across everything.
Yeah,
Like when everyone else is out having fun, if you're at the gym or doing this, trying to get better at whatever sport you're doing,
yeah,
you got that edge on 'em.
yeah,
And like, even if it doesn't show up in 6 months, it'll show up in 6 years.
yeah. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that's what a lot of kids, they want it to happen overnight. It doesn't.
nah,
Like every overnight success story took 10 years.
yeah,
And there's truth in that.
yeah, 100%. And it's like people say, oh, why do you only do PBRs now? And then it's like, well, I'm at that age and I've done the miles, I've sort of got the freedom to pick and choose
Yeah.
what you do. But no one remembers or asks you. Like I said, I remember so many pro rodeos, just shadowing me. And you might only be running around on the stairs and the 3 days of it, Concurry and in that long ass arena, but you just love it. And doing that, and you weren't even worried about money, but doing that stuff is what gets you where I am now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, now you have the liberty to just do the PBRs.
yeah,
Because you'd put the work in
yeah,
before it. You didn't go there doing Mount Isa, you've just drove 14 hours to get there, and
Yeah.
you're not getting paid, but you're just
Yeah.
there shadowing.
I sound a bit soft now, but if I can't fly there these days, I don't really want to go. I need to be moteling an aeroplane.
Unless your daughter makes the finals and then
Yeah,
you jet
nah,
it.
yeah, that's different. But, yeah, nah, so yeah, I'm hoping she makes the pro finals this year. So, but nah, and the young fella, he's not really interested in rodeo, which I'm pretty thankful for.
What's he into, the footy, or what's he into?
Nah, he's a real he's quite the opposite little boy that a lot of people thought I'd have.
Yeah.
He's a real gentle fella. He doesn't mind hitting the golf club.
Yeah, nice.
So, but mate, I don't care what kids do.
As long as they're happy.
As long as they're happy and we give them the best life we possibly can and put them on the right path. So that's all I hope for. They can do whatever sport they want.
Yeah.
So.
And does that sort of carry on to how you said you had to have that reset and then come back, and just so you are the best version of you, so then your kids, you lead by example. So
Yeah, that was in bullfighting was, and I've had a fair few, hiccups the last sort of 5 years in my life, personal.
Yeah.
So I've picked myself up. I've been probably to the lowest point I ever have, and I had to come back from that. And that probably did have effect on it there. And but yeah, like I said, if you put the right people around you, I'm lucky. I've got good friends and good family, and right now behind the scenes in my private life, I've got a really strong support crew that I can turn to them for anything. And I'm very lucky, but.
And brings out the best version of you.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you very much, brother. And
No worries,
best
mate.
of luck to everything in the future.
Yep.
And what is next for you?
Mate, I've just started a business, so I'm pretty locked in on that. And then I got Maryborough PBR and Townsville, and next year we'll just see. I've got a few options there, but I'll keep them under my hat for now.
Yeah.
So, but we're just day by day now, try and keep this business going, be there for the kids, and then do them few PBRs I got left, and enjoy Christmas, and then
Reset.
big things coming next year.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome, mate. Well, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and best of luck.
No worries, mate. Thank you.